Hello everyone, it's Kiki here, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're making something very special because March 1st was my grandma's birthday. So, I'm going to be making her a painting with animals that she gave me, and I am not just going to be putting those animals into the painting, I am going to be smushing them all together, making a whole new animal for her. I actually asked her for these animals way back at the beginning of January. A long time ago I had asked my mom for animals, so I was like, I asked mom for animals, can you give me animals? Because I don't know what to mash together and I need animals to mash. So she's like, okay, let me think. So first she sent me red fox and snow leopard. I was like, okay, I can work with that. So she's like, here's two more that I like. And she said snowy owl and horse. Red fox, snow leopard, snowy owl, and a horse. I'm not using the horse. No. Sorry, Grandma, but no. So I'm going to be using the red fox, the snow leopard, and the snowy owl, making some sort of griffin-like thing, most likely, and then I'm going to be painting it on this little canvas board, and hopefully it'll turn out well. I'm still working on my painting skills, but I didn't want to do another ink picture because for Christmas I did an ink picture for her of a peacock, and if you watch the video you'll know that I made the comment that I might go back to Hobby Lobby and get the giant glass peacock for her. Thanks, Grandma. For real though, I do like it. Don't take it the wrong way. I love you. But yeah, so I'm gonna start with sketching some ideas out, just to get an idea of how to stick the animals together, and then I'm gonna make a sort of thumbnail of what I'm going to do with the actual painting itself. So they're a little hard to see, but for the first thing I did, I used the fox size and body for the most part, and then just gave it a longer tail based on the snow leopard tail. Threw some wings on here and a little bit of speckling on the head from the owl and talons and stuff. And I kind of liked the idea, and I was gonna try and so I came down here, and so I have fox head. I'm going to use the owl eyes and more of the leopard's ears than the pointy fox ears. The front legs of the fox, but the talons on all four from the bird, and the little floofies from the bird. The back legs and the body shape is more from the cat, and I have some feathers for the bird tail, and then again it's hard to see but I do have the wings on here, and then again the long fox tail. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So now I'm going to try and sketch up probably a slightly different pose just so I have something to go off of for the canvas and go from there. So as I said, I started out by trying to figure out where I was going to place everything. I actually traced the outside of the canvas board onto the page so I knew the spacing that I had. And then just went right into the painting after getting rough line work for that. I tried to make it look like it was more of an icy winter morning sky, that really pale blue that sort of goes into the slightly darker blue at the bottom. I think I managed to get it decently well. I like my rocks. Of course, then I covered my rocks up with snow, but I also like my snow. So I guess it's okay.
It's been a while since I used my sponges, but I went back to using my sponges again because I figured they would work good for getting the snow on there. I did sort of do it a little bit backwards. I should have put the trees in first, and then the mountains, and then another layer of tree, and then the mountain, and I didn't, but I figured it out, and I got it all to work, and I'm really happy with how the trees look, and it looks like a pine forest, at least to me. My biggest concern was how I was going to get the creature on there proportionately and spacing wise. I had thought about trying to create like a sort of stencil for myself to follow, but it wasn't working out the way I wanted to, and it was just taking up too much time trying to get it to work. So I just tried to eyeball it, and it didn't turn out too bad doing that. His head ended up being a little bit too small for his body, and his wings probably could have been a little bit bigger as well. But other than that, he didn't turn out too bad. I probably could have moved him a little bit further over to the left so there was more room for his tail. But at the same time, I really like his placement on the canvas itself as well. If I'd made his body a little bit smaller, he probably would have. His body's too big for his head and his wings. There we go. It's not the other way around. Trying to get the speckling pattern from the wings on the snowy owl was a little hard, just because I don't have good detail brushes, so it was hard to get the look of the feathers in there, so it just kind of looks like a bunch of dots, unfortunately. My initial idea for it was to have the red of the fox start on the head and then sort of fade out into the silvery color of the owl and the snow leopard, but it wasn't working the way I wanted to, so I just went over it all with the silver gray that I had and just sort of did the red fox overcoat bit and left the underneath that more silver color. I could have brought the silver up into it a little bit more than I did, especially like on the belly and on the tail, but oh well. I do like how he turned out regardless of that. And I did remove the over feather tail thing that like sits over the fox tail, because I was informed by my brother that it looked like a kilt or a skirt, and once he said it I couldn't unsee it. So I was like, well, I still want there to be more from the owl in this than just the little floofs on the feet and the wings. So I was thinking maybe it takes its fallen feathers and sort of sticks them in its own fur. So it sticks the longer feathers into its tail and then the smaller ones in throughout the rest of its fur to help break up the red to help the little leopard spots break up the red and sort of help with camouflaging sort of things, so they're not actually just randomly growing out of the spots. They're just like, they're kind of like purposefully placed there, except for the ones on the back of the neck. Those actually grow. But that was the idea behind the feathers all over the body, and yeah, this is him and how he turned out, and I'm quite happy with it. And I hope you enjoyed watching.
Alright, so I have finished my painting for my grandmother, going from some rather rough doodles to a more refined sketch that I refined a little bit more in the middle just to sort of fix it up for my own visual, and then to the final painting. He turned out a bit more foxish in coloring than I initially planned. Probably could have brought the silver up a little bit higher on the belly and the back legs and such, but I think he looks very adorable. His head's a little tiny, but the wings aren't that great, but I really like how it turned out, even if they do look a little bit more fairy-ish, as pointed out by my brother, than owl. But I'm very happy with the overall appearance. My little trees, my little mountains, and I really hope that Grandma, you like it and enjoy it, and he's your very own little monster. I'll let my grandma give him a name and a species. Anyway, I had fun with this, and I hope you had fun with me watching and seeing my painting process. And if you did enjoy it, please hit the subscribe button, check out my other videos, and ring the bell for notifications. And Grandma, I hope you enjoy the painting, and happy birthday. Bye.